Here we go again. Oh my goodness. So this story is brought to me via someone of the Discord. And what this story seems to be, because I looked into it, it seems to be a tale as old as time, where you have a black person who goes into law enforcement, hoping to make a change, hoping to be a refuge to their community, and they are hit with discrimination. They are hit with anti-black, racist cops on the department within a system, given whoever's in charge, who is promoting these anti-black racist cops. And you often tend to be an outlier within the department, unfortunately. And in this case, we have Officer Taisyn Crutchfield. Now, lucky for her, all of this was caught on video. But what she claims is that she was faced with discrimination and retaliation for intervening in a situation. She also talks about how there's been officers who have said racial slurs, have been promoted, you know, the run-of-the-mill stuff when you think about law enforcement, unfortunately. I checked out the video. I checked it. I completely watched the video. And what seems to be the case is what is always the case in nearly every scenario. There is usually this one officer, usually one that goes out of their way to be aggressive. They go out of their way to be hostile. They go out of their way to move their weight around on the civilian population, okay? And if they have any racial animus, then that, you know, quadruples their hostility that they have, because they are looking to set you up. They're looking to egg you on, to antagonize you to the point that you retaliate. So when you retaliate, now they have the shield of being a law enforcement officer, an LEO, and that shield and the rights and the rules and the laws that come with it. So the moment in time you respond to them like a regular person, they will assault you. They will brutalize you and use your actions to justify it legally. In this scenario, what has happened, I watched the video, you can watch the video, it's publicly available. There is some disturbance that was called, you have two brothers and a mother. Now the brothers have just lost their father, okay? So they're still in a position of mourning, and they lost their father due to police. That is correct. So you can imagine the type of trepidation they may have upon engaging with law enforcement, given that they just lost their father to law enforcement. Sure enough, as this transpires, you have the one of the brothers who's like, hey, I don't even got to talk to you. I shouldn't even be talking to you. You just killed my father, right?
Oh God, I shouldn't even talk to you. You niggas just killed my dad. I just killed my dad. Get the fuck out of my face. Oh God, I shouldn't even talk to you niggas.
He's standoffish, okay? This then leads to this other officer. I don't know what he is. He could be Hispanic. He could be white, who walks straight into this kid's face. Just walks up into this kid's face. Now, naturally, if any other man were to walk up on you like that, you would go into defensive mode. Especially if you didn't know them. You would go into natural defensive mode like, yo, back up. That's what he wants. He's looking for a fight, okay? Everyone else is like, all right, let me step away. Let me isolate them. Let me step off until they cool themselves. They're not causing any disturbance right now. And they just gotta, they upset because they just lost their father. Got it. I'm gonna let you cool off for a little bit, and then we're gonna find out what's going on. This officer, boom, goes in. Now, there's nothing legally stopping him from doing that. Nothing. He can do that. You respond in that hostile manner, he can say, hey, I thought he was I fear for my life. Bam, now it's game over. And they know this. So what does he do? He goes in, grabs the kid and pulls him away.
Y'all just kill my, don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. You on my face. You're in my face.
Wait, dude.
What are you doing?
Wait.
Watch out, bro.
No, he's wrong. You're wrong. You're heavily wrong.
That's what he had. No reason for this. None whatsoever. Because all you're going to do is just going to escalate the situation even further. Other officer was trying to de-escalate. Let me disengage since you seem to be, you seem to be having an issue right now. I'm going to wait, disengage. I'm going to re-engage when you cool off. This officer, bam, goes from 0 to 100. Now, here's the thing. Do any of the other officers say, hey, man, take it easy? No. What do? They go right along. Because how it works out is that you have the whole good cop, bad cop. If you know you have a person on your department who's a hothead, who's aggressive, well, you can be the non-aggressive one. You can be the passive one because you know this hothead is going to get things popping off. And you've been looking for some action. It's like, okay, fine. He's going to start the flame. Well, I'm going to be there right with him. Hey, don't touch him. Hey, come back here. But, right? You don't need to do anything. All you need to do is follow this aggressive asshat's lead. And that's what they all do. They all get in line. They don't tell him to stop. They all, hey, once again, a family, a gang. That's what they are. I hope you understand. That's very much what they are. They're gangs. That's what they are because they're nothing more than soldiers of these corrupt politicians. That's it. Now, later on in the video, you have the black officer, Crutchfield. Guess who's the problem? Again, that's correct. Homie with the beard, okay?
What you looking at? Don't worry about what they looking at. I'm talking to you. So what started the argument?
Dude, other officers have detained the mother. They're asking him questions, what's going on? And she's like, this man right here, he's got a problem. And of course, what does he do? He goes right into it. Well, that's because you were being aggressive with my officers.
Y'all don't even know who we were. That's the thing. Y'all didn't ask for it.
No, because this one right here was the aggressive one.
You're getting aggressive, my
Yeah,
officer.
yeah. You know why? No, don't sit here and back the story up now.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. And I'm definitely letting him know that.
Calm
Because you shouldn't be on the streets. Straight up. He shouldn't be on the streets. He shouldn't be on the streets. And I'm definitely letting no boy know. Wait,
Hey,
what am I getting in the car for?
Crutchfield.
I haven't even done
go over
shit.
here. You go over there.
I haven't even done
Actually,
shit. What am I
go back
getting
to
in the
station
car
right
for?
now.
Wait a minute. What am I getting in the car for?
Crutchfield, go back to station.
I'm definitely letting no boy know.
Your officer, you're being aggressive with my officers. So what does Crutchfield do? She tries to intervene. Hey, disengage. What does he do? Pushes her away. Don't do that. That officer is a bully. I guarantee you see that dude out of his badge, quiet as a mouse. Unless he tries to use his badge to once again push his weight around. Oh, you just assaulted an officer. And it's like, what? I didn't know you were an officer. I thought you were just a dude at a bar. That's that type of dude. And unfortunately, that person is on law enforcement. That person gets away with murder in many cases. All right? And the other officers turn a blind eye. Now, when this black officer says, hey, you need to disengage, no reason to go back, tit for tat. What happens? The commanding officer says, hey, get back to the apartment, go back to the apartment. He punishes both of them. When the black officer is trying to tell him, hey, disengage. You don't need to be chill. You don't need to be aggressive with this woman. This is the problem. And sure enough, guess what we have? We have a black police chief who comes out, well, we got different perspectives on the plan.
Hello, I'm Gene Harris, the police chief for the city of Pasadena. I recognize people, including officers, may have different and sometimes divergent perceptions of events based on a myriad of factors.
Same thing over and over again. Because I hope you all remember Carol Horn. When the whole George Floyd thing came out, Carol Horn. You all remember Carol Horn, who was doing the same thing in a more aggressive situation where the guy was choking someone and she tried to get him off of him. She ended up getting fired. When it comes to situations like this, I hope she wins her case. I very much hope she wins her case. And I hope there's more officers that come out. But you have to understand, this blue line is very serious. Very serious. Okay? So it goes back to what? The laws that allowed them to get away with this. Goes back to qualified immunity. Goes back to the Terry stop. Goes back to a lot of laws that many of these racist Supreme Courts have established. The Supreme Court is not the end-all be-all. They get it wrong 100%. And just as Republicans thought they got it wrong in abortion, well, I think they got it wrong on a litany of things when it comes to law enforcement. Best believe that. So we have to fight. We have got to organize. We have got to get allies who have a mutual interest. I don't care if you don't like black people. If you don't like law enforcement, then great. We have a mutual interest at the end of the day. Okay? And we have got to get these things removed. We got to get them repealed. It's as simple as that. We need new rulings. Unfortunately, because we have the Supreme Court that we have, the only thing we can hope for is that one of these mofos dies, okay? That's the only thing that we can hope for, is that one of these mofos dies, just falls dead, and that a Democrat president gets to elect more liberal Supreme Court judges. That's the only thing we can hope for, because these mofos ain't going to do anything. There ain't no way in God's green earth you think these mofos are going to give you reparations. It's not going to happen. If you think Clarence Thomas is going to give you reparations, if you think Clarence Thomas or any of the other goofballs on the court, John Roberts, I mean, it's 50-50. But if you think that's going to happen with what we have now, it's not going to happen, unfortunately. It's not going to happen. So you're going to have to keep pressing and get different scenarios. Because that's what they did when it came to abortion. That's what they did. They were in line with many of the mayors, with many of the governors, to pass laws that they think would eventually go to the Supreme Court so they could get a new ruling. This was all, once again, this was all organized. That's what I'm saying. Black people, we have got to organize, pull our resources together, and make stuff happen. Now, when I say stuff, I mean an actual game plan. That's something that Dr. Claude Anderson talks about, where he's like, yo, y'all keep talking about stuff and being ambiguous with what you want. That's not how things happen. You need to have a full-out plan of attack of what you want, the end goal, how to get there, and what steps to take. I think more black people should join law enforcement, 100%. More. We should flood law enforcement. Absolutely. So if they want as far as say, hey, you have this power, great. Now I have this power, 100%. And I'm going to go into my communities and I'm going to regulate them. I don't need your racist cops to be with me, okay? But the problem is sometimes you get many of these black cops and they turn out to be a tantrum, right? Where now they go in thinking they're going to make a change and now they get actually recruited. They get recruited. So it's an arduous path, 100%, but it can be done. Anyways, guys, that's the video. Let me know what you guys think. Whether or not you believe, look, law enforcement is really good, okay? They love everybody. All right, I want you to understand that most of them, they good people. They're just a couple of rotten apples. Or if you have to believe, listen, it only takes a couple of rotten apples to spoil the bunch, okay? And when every apple looks exactly the same, how am I supposed to know which one's rotten and which one's not? No, there's no way of doing that. Best way to do that is to have a law and regulation that prevents any of these possible bad apples from circumventing my rights as a citizen, from brutalizing me as a citizen. Simple as that. Because it just seems when they brutalize certain groups of people in certain neighborhoods, well, guess what? They don't have the finances to fight back. And the court systems are created for people with resources. Now, I just find it interesting, knowing the history of this country, what group of people have been systemically opted out from said resources. Nevertheless, if you happen to disagree with this video, you're more than welcome to call in during Disagreement Day, which is typically held Friday through Sunday. There'll be a number on screen. You call in, we duke it out. Either or, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please feel free to like, share, comment. Let me know what you guys think as far as the route when it comes to law enforcement. Should more black people get into law enforcement? Should we just completely disregard law enforcement? A lot of solutions to that problem. Feel free to share and subscribe and all that fun stuff. Till next time, guys, be amazing. So we have to fight